to me, the problem with being human is an identification with the false self. That is the primary problem. There is also the problem with that we also don't receive great conditioning as well from our society. So also our bodies have problems because we get conditioned in ways that aren't productive for us. So say, for example, we grow up in families that don't teach a way, a healthy way to navigate conflict or to express what you want, what you don't want. There's a lot of like suppression, passive aggression, like negative interactions that are acted out, and so there's not a learning of how to have more healthy relationships. That is problematic, but that's not actually the suffering. So, but I am a fan of like recommending therapies and learning how to communicate. And if you go onto my website, there is a reference page of loads of trauma work, working like non-violent communication, like how to communicate, like different therapists I recommend, like body work, somatic work, like all these different things. And I think that like it's really wise to work on those things. But even if you worked on those things and cleaned the person up loads and became like very healthy in your communications in the way you see things, there will still be what I would define as suffering. And what I define, and a lot of people that talk about non-duality define as suffering, is the identification with an illusory self. So it's not necessarily conditioning in your habits, although that can play part in it. It's the identification with it. The belief that what is experiencing now is a person that is time bound. So most people walk around believing like, I am this person and I'm going to listen to this stream and I'm going to become enlightened. Like I am here and I'm in relationship with Lisa and it's good or it's bad or she's this or she's that or she's wonderful. Like, and so it's always that there is a you, and that you feels that consciousness is inside it, so that you as a separate entity are conscious and separate from everything else. Whereas from my experience, that's not true. Like what is true, and I know that even saying my experience is like, who Lisa, who are you talking about? That's trippy as well. But from the experience here, there isn't something that is looking out of these bodies. So there isn't a somebody in relationship with the world. There's a character which is seemingly in relationship with the world, but there is something which is experiencing that character. And that something which is experiencing we could call consciousness. And that consciousness is vast and free and spacious and has no issues, has no judgment, and it's totally content in itself. I would call it love. Like totally without the need to get anywhere or do anything. It's just love, content. But when it belongs to you, so when the consciousness is not recognized for what it is, when there's like this belief that you as a person are conscious and this kind of enmeshment of consciousness and that illusory person, then there's always a feeling that you've lost something. There's always a feeling that there's not, or that everything isn't quite okay. That there's something that is lost. So most people, I would say, are walking around in a state of seeking. And what they're seeking for is beingness, is this consciousness, this aliveness, this presence. But what they believe they can find it in is in themselves as a person. So they believe if this person becomes rich, if this person becomes more friendly, if this person stops having anger, if this person has better emotions, if this person releases emotions, If this person does all these things, then I will arrive somewhere. But this isn't true, because there isn't really a somebody there that arrives. There is this appearance of a character that's ever changing and coming and going. And there is this consciousness which is conscious of that. And that's always here. That never leaves. And it's not something you can find. You can't like take out your hand and like scoop up consciousness or see it as a person. So thoughts can't see it, but yet it is seeing. It's right here. Right here. And it doesn't want anything. It doesn't think, if I'm more rich, if I'm more liked, if I'm more seen, if I feel more conscious, if I have higher vibrations, I'll be free. It's conscious. And that's part of the experiencing now. That's what's experiencing now. So that's part of this whole experience, is there is something in it that's free. It's like Tony Parsons used to say, it's like the open secret. It's like hidden in the best place. It's hidden in that which is looking. So what is it that's looking now? What is it that's experiencing? So who is experiencing? So the person is always like, I am experiencing. And I am going to achieve something in this talk. And then there's something that's watching that person that believes it's going to achieve something. And that something is free. You can't find it. You can't grab hold of it. So to me, to live a happier life, it's connecting with that. But it's not like there is something, a you, that needs to connect with it. It's just that it's seemingly veiled because of this energy that is attaching to a person. So it's waking up. I don't know what you call back to that. You could also say becoming more present, because consciousness is always present. It's always here. And what most people are doing is they're lost in thought. They're lost in what's coming, what's going to happen. They're lost in this energy of like, I've got to get somewhere. Like they can't quite relax. They're always in thought, in stories, them, me. I forget to teach that. But they're lost in time, in thoughts. And so when there is this waking up, you could say like there's a part that's always present, like really super present, like not a practice of present, it just is here. alive, awake. And when you're going through the process of apparently waking up, even though there is no you that wakes up, when that apparent process is happening, there is these practices that happen. There is the settling down of the karma, of the conditions and the habits and the behaviors of the person. And then there is a putting the attention in the I am or in the consciousness. And these are two wise practices. But it's not that. That isn't it. That is a person doing a practice. This is talking about this intimate watching now that's prior to someone doing a practice. So when you put your attention into the present moment or into consciousness or into I am, which I'm recommending you do, even though there is no you that can do it, I'm still doing that and holding that contradiction, even though it feels like you are becoming present. That's not actually what it's about, because there's somebody that's watching you do that, or there's something that's watching you do that. So there's somebody putting their attention in consciousness, and then it's being watched. There is a consciousness of it. If it's appearing in the dream, so what I was saying in the last stream, this is my second stream today, is like, so if I put on a virtual reality set, Lisa is not inside the virtual reality. Lisa is watching the virtual reality. So if I put it on and like it's like a Star Wars game or something, and I'm like Luke Skywalker, like Lisa isn't in it. Lisa is watching the game. Like I wouldn't suddenly see Lisa inside it unless I had like a really clever partner or friend that programmed me in it, but it would be like very strange. Like Lisa is watching, and then there is the game and she's looking in and she is playing the character of Luke Skywalker. So if like, and that's the same here, like in this dream, like who you truly are cannot be in the dream, because who you truly are is experiencing. So anything that's seen within the dream has to be the illusion which comes and goes. So that person that's putting the attention in the present moment is something in the dream, and there is something prior to that watching which isn't a something, which is this consciousness, which is no thing and all things. That's so confusing.